Hello everybody, thanks for watching again. Last week I built a new watermark feature into FFmpeg, Laravel FFmpeg. It's like a shortcut for adding watermarks. So previously you had to add a filter, and the positioning was a bit hard. So what I've built last week is add watermark a method where you can simply open a file from your storage. Can be a local disk or an external disk, like an S3 bucket or maybe an FTP server, and some easy positioning. So you can rewatch the stream if you'd like on this channel. Took a bit longer than I expected. I thought it would maybe take 60 minutes, but we end up streaming for 90 minutes because of some new insights, new ideas. And today I want to extend this functionality a bit, maybe with a few new features. So let's start. I tweeted about this actually. Let's see. Let's open Twitter on my other screen. Here it is. There it goes. So these are the three things I want to build today. A fit method shortcut for resizing videos. I want to build a dump method, like a DD thing. You see those a lot in the Laravel code base. And I want to add some more watermark methods, for example, to manipulate the watermark itself, like resizing, maybe do something with the colors. I don't know. So let's start with the easiest one, which is probably the dumping method. So let's see. In case you haven't watched last time, this is just a simple test. It opens a video from my local storage. Let's see, I've got a folder right here. Nope, not that one. This one. So in my storage app directory, I've got a video, which is just a really simple video, 5 seconds. And I've got my logo, which is my company logo. And with this new feature, I can simply open that logo. It even has a from disk method. So here you can specify the disk to open the logo from, but yeah, since local disk is my default disk, you don't have to write this. So open this logo file and position it in the bottom right with an offset of 25 pixels, and just export it in the default H.264 format. And after that, we make a little assertion to see if this file is really stored. So let's run it. Takes a few seconds. And then here is my new video with the logo in the bottom right. So that's great. But what if I want to see what is actually happening? So let's say I want to dump the command. There's already a get command method which isn't really documented, I think, but you can already do something like this, command, and then instead of save, let's call get command. Oh, getting an incoming call. Well, that one can wait. And let's dump it. So here it is. These are the arguments that are getting passed into FFmpeg, which are actually two commands because we're doing two passes. That's default of the underlying FFmpeg library. So yeah, this is nice, but when you're working with a library, you probably want to do something like this, right? So of course this is going to fail, because the DD method does not exist on the media exporter. So let's work on that a bit. Here I've got my code base, and where is the media exporter? It's right here. So here's the cat command method that I showed you, and here's the save method. So yeah, let's build something in between. DD stands for dump and die. So yeah, like the only thing I want to do is just dump this cat command, give it the path, and then just die. That's it. So let's see if this works. Yeah, that's the same. And actually, here you can see the function that comes with Laravel. Oh, maybe it's a Symfony thing. I always thought it was a Laravel thing. Well, learned something new today. So that's the first one. Let's revert this to save. Another thing I want to add is easy resizing of the video itself. So I believe this video is 1910p. Wrong folder again. Storage, app, video. Let's see. Yeah. It's 1920 by 1080. So let's get the FFmpeg documentation. Maybe it's in the, yeah, here it is. It's in the documentation already. So the easiest way to do this now is to add a filter, a resize filter. Something like this. Let's remove the watermark for now, so we can focus on the resizing. Let's import this. And give this another name. Resized video. So yeah, this is a bit small, but you get the idea. So let's run it again. Let's see what happens. Here it is, a new video. It's a bit smaller now. Let's inspect it. So it's actually a bit bigger than I expected. And that's probably because it respects the aspect ratio, which I think is a mode. Yeah, it's a mode. So it defaults to fit, which makes sense. Let's see what other stuff we could use. Scale width. Let's see what happens. No, it's still the same. Maybe height. No, still the same. There's only one left. That's inset. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this wrong, right? Yeah. it's the second argument of the resize method. It's not the third argument of the dimension object. So I should just do this. Oh, that's just really stupid, so I'm sorry. Scale width. Let's run it again. No, it's still the same. Yeah. Now it's 640. And of course the height is a little bit less than 480. It's just a different ratio, but that's fine. So what I want to do is instead of doing this, is just maybe add a fit method and then give it the dimensions. So 640 and 480. And yeah, that's it. So let's copy this over. Yeah, let's copy this into this method. So where's the add filter located? It's located in the FFmpeg driver object. This is also where we added the add watermark instance last week. So in here, let's add a new function. And for now, I'm thinking about calling it fit, but maybe resize is better, right? Resize is better, and then we can, just like the original resize method, we can just give it a mode. Yeah, let's do that. So back to the FFmpeg class. Resize, and then we want a width, a height, and a mode, which defaults to, let's import this. Yeah, that's the one. Resize mode fit, that's the default. And we want to return this, of course. So let's grab the add filter stuff. Here it is. This. So this uses the video filters collection, which is part of the underlying FFmpeg library. And this class itself just holds, it's just a helper class for adding filters. Like this resize method is just a shortcut for adding this resize filter object. So maybe it's best if we just grab this one instead of relying on this helper instance. But that's just a refactor for later. So let's see. We could do return this. Yeah, let's do that. That's fine for now. Of course, we want to change this with the real width and height that we had given to the method right here. We also want to change this one with mode. And let's make sure they're available inside the closure, height and mode. So let's see what happens. Instead of fit, we've called this one resize, and let's give it this scale height mode to make sure that argument works as well. Now we can remove this. And let's run it again. We get green, which is always nice. Yeah, here it is. So this works. Great. Right, let's do a small refactor, because this is a bit, yeah, verbose. So this thing just instantiates a new resize filter, and it also has a third argument which is for standards, which I have no idea what it does. So let's see. Our standards forced. Nope. It has no usage in this method, in this class itself. Either way, let's copy. Nah, no, I don't care about it. Let's copy this one. So here's our new real filter. Let's import it. Dimension is this instance right here. Dimension. And let's import that as well. We could remove this because there is a default of true. Yeah. And now instead of using disclosure, we can just pass in the filter object. Let's see. Let's run it again. It still works. So that's great. Is there anything else we can do here? Yeah, let's add a test to make sure it did resize, right? So now we've only asserted that it was saved, which is also fine to know, but what we could do is let's open the converted video. So this is where we open the original, we save a new one, and let's open that new one. FFmpeg, open, resized video. Oh. Maybe get driver. I thought it was something like get dimensions or something like that. Get video stream. Maybe that's the one. Let's see what this is. Video, and let's call this new video. And let's dump this video stream instance. Let's see what we get. A whole bunch of data. So it's a FFmpeg, FFprobe data mapping stream object. Let's see if we can find it in the underlying library. Probe data mapping stream. Here it is. Well. Get dimensions. Well, all we are really interested in is the width and height, so this stream object has a get method. So let's copy this. And instead of this, let's call this new video stream. And instead of this, we give it the new video stream. And then this assert equals 640. That's the width. And here comes the dilemma. Let's change this to what's gonna be? It's gonna be 360. So don't get confused by the numbers. Also, let's no, that's not necessary. I thought of maybe adding a assertion for the original width and height. That's not really necessary. So let's run this again. Yeah, so now we get green with 3 assertions. So that's great, right? Let's rename this a bit. It can, having trouble with the dash today. It can resize the video by using the resize method. That sounds fine. So yeah, that was the second thing for today. And then to the big finale. The third one, which was, if you might remember, watermark manipulation. So let's add another test. Gonna be lazy again. It can manipulate the watermark image, right? Video with manipulated watermark. It's a bit long, but it's clear. So let's remove all this stuff. So let's go back to our watermark method again. So we open the original video file. We call the add watermark method, which gives us a watermark factory. And with that factory, we can open the logo and position it. Let's go for bottom left today. Bottom left with an offset of 25. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's run it. Getting green already. And here it is. The video with the watermark on the bottom left. So say I want to resize this watermark, or maybe change the color a bit. How are we going to do that? The great people over at Spatie have a great library, of course, called Spatie Image, which is like a really easy way to resize and modify images. And this is exactly the API I'm looking for, which under the hood uses Clyde, which is actually from the same maker as Inertia, Jonathan Reining. So let's see how we can use this package. Let's install it with Composer. So what I want to do is, well, let's take a look at the first example. Modify the image so it fits in a 100 by 100 rectangle. Yeah, why not? So let's do this. Right, this is what we want, but this, of course, is not gonna work because that watermark factory doesn't have a width method. So yeah, we install the package with Composer. That's fine. Let's see, this is our watermark factory. And I don't want to add all these width and height and fit and grayscale methods. So this is what I do a lot when depending on external libraries. I add a call method, which I will show you. I do the same thing with the FFmpeg driver. So whenever you call a method on this object, which does not exist, it forwards the call to the underlying media object from the underlying library. And this forward call to method is actually a Laravel thing. Let's scroll to the top. It's this trait right here, forwards calls. So this just adds a little bit of magic, so we get nice exceptions. I think that's the only thing it really does. So yeah, we're gonna definitely use this. So let's add it. Use forwards calls. Oh, not inline. Import it. And then, just to be really quick here, let's copy this. Right here. And we always want to return this object, so you can chain manipulations. So we don't need this. So where do we want to forward it to? To the image object. So let's see. Forward call to this image, which of course does not exist. But let's run a test again and see what happens. Oh wow. I did not expect that. Oh, of course, yeah. So it's because this method does not exist, this image method, it just loops endlessly into this call method. So sorry for that. Let's add it. And then maybe do something like hello to prove that this works. Here it is. Hello. So let's see. What do we need? Image load path to image. Right? Let's import it. Ooh, I guess it's this one. So here we have our image object, path to image. That should be this one. This media get local path. And let's dump it to see if this works. Yeah. So here we have our Spatie image instance with the path to the image, storage app logo, which is, where's my finder? Yeah, that's this one. And it does not have any manipulations yet. So let's get back to our watermark factory. Let's return it, which is, we need an instance of this, but that's for later on. Let's do this. Return the image. So now when we call this with method, it instantiates a new image instance from the Spatie library, gives it the path to the image, the watermark image, and then calls the method with the arguments. So for example, with 100. and then it returns this instance, the watermark factory. So every time we call a manipulation, we get a new image, right? That's not what we want. This must be the same image every time we call it. So let's create a property for it. Scroll back to the top. Private image. So instead of returning this, we always want to return that property. But of course, the first time we call this method, nothing is set. So we do a little check. If we don't have an image, set the property with the instance of the spatie image class, right? So let's see. Let's run this test again, see what happens. It works, which is nice. But of course, nothing has changed. Why not? Why didn't it change? Because after we called our manipulations, we also need to save it somewhere to give it to FFmpeg, right? So yeah, when are we gonna save this? I think at the time we need it. So that would be somewhere around here, right? Yeah. So this is true. This is the path to the original watermark. But if we've loaded an image, so if this image is not null, somehow we want to get the path from the image instance. So let's save it to a temporary directory, I think. Maybe that's, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see. If I remember correctly, I have a little helper method for temporary directories. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. It's this one. Here. It's a class actually, using another spatie library, which I refactored lately. Yeah, doesn't really matter. So let's create a new temporary directory. So directory create. Let's import the class. Already import. Oh, I imported the wrong one. Oh, sorry. Let's. Oh, it's directories. So, yeah. So we can call the path method on the directory, and let's give it a path of the original file name. So this media get file name. And for now, let's dump the original path and the new path, so you can see the difference. Let's run the test. Here it is. So we have our original path to the watermark, and this is a temporary directory on my local machine with the original file name. So that's nice. So we don't have to generate like a random file name with the original extension, etc. So that's it. We created that temporary directory. We generated the path. And of course, I almost forgot. We need to save it. So this image, save output path, which is our newly created path. And yeah, that's it. That should work. So let's see. Yeah, we're getting green again. Oh, it's really small. It's 100 by 100 and really small. So let's increase this a bit. 300 maybe. Yeah, that's better. So it did resize, but I thought it didn't. Oh, without altering aspect ratio. So yeah, oh, that's great. So we can make it really big as well. 600 by 600. Oops. Yeah, there it is. Let's try another one. Maybe grayscale. Yeah, works as well. So yeah, that's great. That's cool. Let's see if I thought I had a test. Yeah, I had a watermark factory test. So this is the last thing we're gonna do today. That's it. Somehow I want to test these methods. Not in a big way, but let's see what we can do. So this is all selected because I copied it over, I think. Let's add a new test method. It can manipulate the watermark image. So let's create a factory. New watermark not filter factory. Open the logo. And then let's chain some manipulations. So maybe with 100. Right? And give it that same bottom 25, left 25 position again. As you might remember, we added a little helper method to this test called getSecondCommand. Which grabs the arguments from the filter. I will show you. That's easier. So the factory has a get method, which returns a watermark filter, as you can see right here. So it now has a relative position, bottom left 25, and the path to the watermark, which is, of course, the temporary file. So I want to do two assertions. One, that this file is located in a temporary directory, and two, that it has a width of 100. So what this getSecondCommand thing actually does, we can give it a watermark factory, and then let's dump it. Oh, I call it factory this time. We dump it, and so this is the argument that gets passed into FFmpeg, which contains the path to the watermark, the positioning, and some in and out. Yeah, how do you call it? Mapping, I think. It's called mapping in FFmpeg. Doesn't really matter at all. Let's see. So The only thing I want to know is, does the system temporary directory does the command have the system temporary directory in it? So assert string contains string, which is a thing in PHP unit. So we want to know if this temporary directory is in the command. Let's remove this, run it, and we get green. Let's remove the width for a second. Run it again. Now we get red, because now the path is just the original. Can I make this larger? Oh yeah, I can. Oh, that's a lot larger, a lot bigger. Well, whatever. Here it is. So now the path is the original path, right? So let's make this a bit smaller again. Run it again, and yeah, we got green again. So the only thing left to do here is somehow I want to grab that path and then assert that the width is 100. So how are we going to grab that path? Let's make a little helper method. Public function get path, which returns a string. And let's copy this into here, and then call the new method this get path. And of course it should return it. Maybe we can make this a bit more elegant by changing the order of the if. So if no image instance is set, let's return the original path. Otherwise, create the directory, create the path, save the image, and return the path. So, and if you're really no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, we could just do this. If you're really fancy, you can use the tab method. Let's do it. So, return tab, which takes this path value. Now we can give it a callback function path and save the image. Maybe it's not as elegant as I just thought it would be, but so let's run our test again here to see if nothing if I didn't break anything. We get green. Let's inspect the video. Yeah, it's still huge and gray. Back to the factory test. Now we have we can call our new helper method called getPath. Let's dump it. And of course, that's the path to the temporary directory. And I think PHP has a method something like getImage. Yeah, getImage size. We give it the path. And let's dump all of it. GetImage size, maybe just size. Let's dump the size. Ooh. Index 0 and 1 contains the width and height of the image. So yeah, we just want, yeah, we can do two things, right? We can do this. Width is size, and then the key is 0. Or if you're really fancy, you can do this. Let's dump it to see if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's 100. So the only thing left to do, this assert equals 100 width. Let's run it again. Yeah, we get green. So let's wrap it up. We've added image manipulation to the watermark factory. So we can now call every method available on the Spatie image API. That works. We added a new resize method, which takes 3 arguments. The first one is the width, second one is the height, and then there's a mode. I will write documentation for this. And the first thing we did, which is the last thing I'm going to show you, is we added a dump and die command method. Sorry for that. So let's see. Yeah, it still works. So now we can see. Let's grab this. So this is the argument that gets passed into FFmpeg. Let's take a quick look at it. It opens the video, number of threads, codecs, bitrate, all kinds of fancy stuff. Here it opens our watermark logo, the temporary one, which is manipulated. Gives it a position, and this is the first pass, a log file, and then it saves it to the video with manipulated watermark file. So yeah, that's it. We've added those 3 things. I will write some documentation, and this will probably be merged next week, early next week, in the Laravel FFMpeg package. So thanks for watching again. I think I'm gonna do a live session next week about the cross-model searcher. I have a little package which I called, I think, Laravel cross-model something, or cross-eloquent search. So what this does is it can search through multiple eloquent models. So maybe if you're building search functionality, you can you want to search through your videos and your posts and maybe your comments and whatever. And this is just quite an elegant way to search without having to do manual fancy things. It has support for pagination built in. Yeah, gonna stream about this. So yeah, again, thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.